Mandatory evacuations are underway in southern Texas because of flooding. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The Maverick County judge has ordered people in 2 small towns along the Texas-Mexico border to evacuate. This is just north of Eagle Pass. The local fire department is going door to door to make sure people get out. At least 15 people from 4 homes have been rescued. Several shelters are now open.
First responders had to temporarily pause search efforts in central Texas because of more rain. Governor Abbott warned people to be extra cautious over the next few days. There are now 131 people confirmed dead after the flooding. Fox 4's David Centendry live tonight with more on the recovery efforts. David.
Yeah, Heather and Steve, right now there are some 13,000 volunteers taking action in central Texas, but heavy weather is causing even more flooding, and more rain is on the way for people who are already experiencing so much devastation.
Here's the water level. So you can see it's a little bit over my head, just a little bit.
Daniel Olivas reveals his home, gutted by flooding in Kerrville. On Sunday, he says dozens of volunteer angels ascended upon his home to help.
We had up to 30 people on Sunday.
13,000 volunteers assisting, according to the Texas Division of Emergency Management. It's establishing volunteer reception centers to match capabilities and skills with community needs. But ongoing flooding, a concern in central Texas. A man and woman inside this SUV swept nearly a mile downstream by fast-moving floodwaters in Lampasas County, northwest of Austin, Sunday morning. The SUV completely submerged while forced through a culvert beneath railroad tracks. The man and woman escaped, fortunately rescued by Texas game wardens. In Kerr County, the heaviest hit area of July 4th's catastrophic flooding, search and rescue efforts now on pause.
Up in Kerr County on the Guadalupe River, we've had a tactical pause for a day and a half now because of the rain and the waters that are coming down that river. We cannot afford to have people in the water and right next to the water that are not swift water rescue trained and capable of at least saving themselves from being near that water because of the amount of rainfall that we're getting.
State officials say 97 people still missing from Guadalupe River flooding. The Kerr County Sheriff says he believes it could take as long as 6 months to find some of the missing. Governor Greg Abbott says once a body is recovered, it can take several days to identify.
Sometimes it does require using DNA testing to identify who they are and identify who their family is.
All in favor, so vote.
Kerrville City Council voting to indefinitely extend the mayor's disaster declaration Monday morning. City officials adding a public request to pause physical donations.
No more donations. We're at capacity. We appreciate all of the donations, but we literally just don't have the space, the time, and people to manage it.
Volunteers, however, needed as much as ever.
It's really emotional. It's been a blessing. God has watched over us through this whole ordeal. And I cannot express how much I appreciate everything that they have done for us.
We've talked about how some perceive a lack of preparation regarding this flooding. Well, one thing of note coming out of Kerrville City Council meeting today, one city council member calling for extra security because she says that some people in the public are sending threats to Kerrville City staff members because of that issue. Heather, Steve, back to y'all.
All right, David Centendry, thank you. Dallas police released body cam video of officers shooting and killing a man they say refused to drop the knives he was holding.
Fox 4's Alex Boyer is at Dallas Police Headquarters right now with more on what the police revealed today about the shooting. Alex.
Hey guys, and the police chief says that this is the 4th shooting so far this year involving a Dallas police officer. Now, the suspect was identified today as 37-year-old Jake Miller, and investigators believe that Miller was experiencing some sort of mental episode when he ultimately lunged at officers with 2 knives in his hands. Now, those officers did try using less lethal force in order to stop them, but that ultimately didn't work, leading to his death.
There is a man walking this across the street, and he's walking back and forth with a knife in his hand.
A 911 call from a Dallas resident helps to establish who and what Dallas police officers were about to encounter in a neighborhood off Fairview Avenue back on the morning of July 9th.
It looks like he's cutting himself on his arm.
Okay. All right, we have a call for police and ambulance to go out.
That man, later identified as 37-year-old Jake Miller, was reportedly armed with 2 knives. Body camera video released at a news conference Monday captured part of the deadly encounter. Miller was reportedly kicking on the door of a residence and putting the knife to his neck, even cutting his own arms. When 4 Dallas police officers arrived on scene, they gave Miller several loud verbal commands to drop the knives.
Hey, stop it!
He did not. In the video, you can hear officers using less lethal force, including pepper balls.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
And a taser to get Miller to comply. It didn't work. Investigators said shortly after, Miller lunged towards Officer Anthony Pargas, who shot Miller 4 times.
Drop the knife!
Once on the ground, officers were able to kick the knives away from Miller. They performed CPR, but Miller died. Chief Daniel Como defended Officer Pargas's actions.
Look, the officers did a phenomenal job out there. They tried to keep everyone safe. They even tried to keep Mr. Miller safe. And Mr. Miller left them no choice. Obviously, you can see from the video, he was going to harm our officers. And officers did everything they needed to do at that time, and they acted accordingly. The job is definitely dangerous. We want every single officer to go home every night.
And investigators say that Miller did live in that neighborhood with a roommate who is the one who ultimately first called 911 to report his erratic behavior. DPD says they have not had any prior run-ins with Miller. And we can also tell you that the Dallas County District Attorney's Office is, of course, doing its own independent, separate investigation into this case. Officer Pargas has only been with the Dallas Police Department since January of this year. Back to you.
All right, Alex Boyer, thank you.
Investigators in Parker County arrested a woman they say planned to kill her ex-husband with fentanyl-laced chocolates. Court records reveal how deputies put a stop to the alleged murder plot. Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. 63-year-old Pamela Stanley faces several charges, including attempted murder. Fox 4's Deion Anglin live with the latest in this investigation. Deion.
Hi, Clarice. Well, the woman who was arrested, according to authorities, wanted her ex-husband dead. And now she's been indicted after her plan was intercepted. 63-year-old Pamela Jean Stanley allegedly plotted to kill her ex-husband with a box of chocolates laced with powdered fentanyl. Parker County officials say she was busted May 30th following an undercover transaction in the parking lot of this Scottish Inn motel on Interstate 20 in Weatherford. This past Thursday, Stanley was indicted by a grand jury.
Anytime someone's plotting to commit a murder...
I spoke to Parker County DA Jeff Swain about the case in general via Zoom.
Essentially, it's alleged that she paid for, arranged for, and was driving to pick up the fentanyl.
Sheriff's officials say a special crimes unit got a tip that Stanley was looking to buy the fentanyl and inject it into a high-end box of chocolates. Investigators say Stanley planned to mail it to her ex-husband, making it appear to have been from a travel agency as a congratulatory gift for his recent engagement. A court document in the case says an undercover special crimes unit investigator approached Stanley and provided her with a clear plastic baggie containing what Pamela believed to be fentanyl. The undercover investigator then left the area, and Pamela was immediately taken into custody. Stanley, who is also shown in this 2019 booking photo for deadly conduct discharging a firearm. In May, at the time of Stanley's arrest for solicitation for murder, she was also charged with being in possession of methamphetamine.
And the important thing in this kind of case is that we managed to stop it before it happened. That's the absolute most important thing.
Now, not surprising, DA Swain would not discuss items or issues like possible motive or other evidence in the case that would be reserved for trial. Now, Stanley is behind bars with a bond set on a total charges, a combined charges that total amount more than $500,000. That's the very latest live. Clarice, back to you.
Two men are accused of breaking into multiple businesses with a sledgehammer.
The men, both in their 40s, are accused of breaking into 10 businesses in Grapevine and Arlington. Police say the first burglary happened in May, and police say it all ended with them caught hiding in a convenience store ceiling. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager has more from the police investigation. Peyton?
Steve and Heather, Arlington police here comparing notes with Grapevine police in this investigation. They tell me these two suspects followed a similar pattern. They hit these convenience stores in the early morning hours, grabbing cash and cigarettes, and also using a sledgehammer to break through the front door. Detectives from two North Texas police departments connected 40-year-old Anthony Johnson and 41-year-old Perry Busby to at least 10 convenience store burglaries in 6 weeks. 8 in Arlington, 2 in Grapevine. Investigators coined the duo as the Sledgehammer Burglars. Each time using a sledgehammer to get in. This surveillance video from a June 11th burglary at Grapevine's Max Corner store off Texan Trail. The masked suspects use the sledgehammer to get behind the counter. Within a few minutes, the two take off with $3 grand worth of cigarettes and the entire cash register. Inside, hundreds of dollars in cash. Just 2 weeks prior, Grapevine officers responded to this gas station off Grapevine Mills Parkway. The report identical, masked men with a sledgehammer. A Grapevine detective noticed the two men caught on this surveillance matched 2 burglary suspect descriptions from Arlington PD. Arlington flock cameras captured a white Ford Taurus as the suspect vehicle, registered to Busby in Johnson County. An arrest warrant affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Monday says investigators also used this photo off Busby's Facebook to connect him to the white Taurus. Last week, Grapevine police traveled to Johnson County and installed a GPS tracker on Busby's Taurus. July 9th, detectives tracked the Taurus to Arlington's Lucky One Food Mart off West Park Row. Officers watched 2 men use a sledgehammer to break in before officers moved in. Investigators say Busby and Johnson ran to the bathroom, climbed on the sink, and hid in the ceiling. The two were eventually arrested. Video from inside the business on Monday shows a new bathroom sink installed. Next to it, the broken sink and broken ceiling tiles. Police say the two suspects damaged in their effort to get away. Investigators also tell us they used social media photos from Busby's Facebook to match articles of clothing to the men who were on the surveillance video. All right, Busby also has multiple prior arrests for burglary. Detectives looked up those reports. The MO was the same, breaking in and stealing cigarettes and cash with a large trash bag. Steve and Heather, back to you.
All right, Peyton Yeager live tonight. Thank you.